What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing okay considering what just happened today. Um, I figured I'd come on here and share my thoughts. If anybody's even watching, which I won't blame you because there's like 17,000 other channels that you guys could look at. But I just wanted to give my opinions and my kind of breakdown. And it's not really much of a breakdown. It's more or less uh, what everybody else knew watching the game. And it was once Purdy went out of the game, it was pretty much a wrap. Thought the Niners defense played particularly well early on, but it was never going to last. Um, Give the Eagles props. They beat on a team who's was down to their fourth string quarterback and do what you're supposed to do when you get to that situation, and that's take care of what's in front of you. So props to them, to whoever they face in the Super Bowl. But uh, to me, once Purdy went down in this game, it was a wrap. I mean, uh, just looking at the way that, like I said, the way the defense played early, I thought the offense had a chance if they were able to move the ball and score some points. And you lose your starting quarterback, who's number 3 on the team, and you're down to your fourth, who's not very good. And there's a reason why he's a fourth string quarterback. It's over. The game's over, and it sucked. It was a long game, uneventful. We all knew the outcome was going to be. And to be honest with you, if we had to make it to the Super Bowl with the fourth string quarterback, it would have been anticlimactic because we would not have won. Um, Whatever happened in this game, as far as penalties or missed this and missed that, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. We weren't going to win without Purdy at quarterback. So, yes, they missed the call in the beginning on the Devontae, was it Devontae Smith, whatever his name is, catch down the sideline. Yes, they missed it. But we had a chance to come right back and score with the ball. I think, did Purdy get hurt on the first drive? It was the second drive. I'm not sure. But, I mean, that game was so early on. I don't think that penalty really did anything. So I still am a big Purdy fan. I see Andrew Jenkins in the chat. He said Purdy is still a beast and still the man. Yeah, I agree. I'm not. It's weird. I'm upset, but I'm not depressed because this one happened so early and the defense was playing so well that it was just a matter of time before the defense broke down. I give them a lot of credit. I don't think anybody ran wild on offense for the Eagles. To be honest with you, even if you're an Eagles fan, you can't tell me that anybody really ran wild in this game. And like I said, it comes down to the fact that Purdy got hurt early, and once that happened, that was a wrap. So I'm not necessarily depressed. I think my whole thing, and I'll be honest with you, is when you get to this point in the season, it's really difficult, and it's not a guarantee that you're ever going to get back. So when you get the opportunities, you have to be able to capitalize. And unfortunately, the Niners did not today, but I still think they're good enough and they'll have a good enough window where I think they can return to this exact same spot. But you only get so many chances in a window with the team before you have to start kind of cost cutting, as they would say, and moving on from certain players and moving on to lesser known, maybe uh, not as talented guys. I don't know. This game, once Purdy got hurt, I stopped being engaged. I was watching the game for the simple fact that I knew I was going to come on after and talk to anybody who would show up in the chat, because literally there's probably 5, 6, 8 people streaming right now the same thing, and they got like 9 zillion people in there. So whatever trickle down I get, I appreciate it. I appreciate anybody who's in here listening to me kind of cry over spilled milk. But yeah, props to the Eagles fan. Props to the Eagles, man. Like, they did what they had to do. Can you be mad at them for beating on us with their fourth string quarterback in there? No. Was there some questionable calls with the referees and stuff? Yes. But in the end, did that really have an impact on the game? Did you really think we were going to win this game without Purdy? If you thought we could, I give you all the credit for being faithful, but I did not feel that way. Take a look at the Niners in 1986 when Montana got knocked out of the NFC Championship game early and they freaking got boat raced, right? It it happens, games, you can lose a game super early when you lose your top quarterback. So I thought Purdy had a great season for the little bit that he played. I thought this team was super good. Super good. That's not. Let me try that again. I thought this team was super talented all year. I thought they did really well. And to be honest with you, I thought the defense was playing well early. And it's unfortunate that they weren't able to continue with the offense supporting them. Be honest with you guys, I would love to look at, and I haven't because I just came on here, I would love to look at time of possession in this game. If anybody in the comments can look up time of possession, I would assume it would be tilted 45% to, or 50 or 85% to the Eagles and whatever to the Niners. So yeah, you got to still be faithful. Like Damian Lee says, you can't come in here and say that, the Niners are the worst run organization and we suck and we're no good, because that's not the case. We're a super talented team who got really far this year. And unfortunately, our starting quarterback got knocked out in the biggest game of the season. And we're not going to the Super Bowl. I'll say this, and I say this with 100% confidence. If Purdy stays healthy in this game, I do think the 49ers win. I think their defense was playing that well in the beginning. Yeah, they gave up some stuff, but I really truly believe that they would have had a shot and they would have pulled an upset. But it's not a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. We didn't do it. The Eagles did, so props to them. It's a John Wick says, I give the Eagles no credit. 4 passes, geez, what a joke. No analyst. Yeah. Yeah. It's not that I give them credit, boss. It's just they did what they had to do in the situation that they were presented with. I mean, if we had the same situation on defense, and we were the team that was winning, and they didn't pass the ball the rest of the game, and we lost or we won, I really think it wouldn't have mattered, because you have to play who's in front of you. But too bad. Hurts had 120 yards throwing, and Johnson had 80. Wow. And a very, very attractive quarterbacks. What do you call quarterback gunslinging game? They really lit it on fire. Bill says correct. Purdy was the difference. He was the one guy we couldn't lose today. Yeah. I didn't even see it happen on the play, to be honest with you, because it was like, the ball followed the bat up in the air and the turnover. So I didn't see the injury. And then all of a sudden he's on the sideline and I'm seeing Josh Johnson and I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then when they show the replay, I don't know if you guys remember, not last year, but the year before, we were in Dallas. I think it was a game where the season was over, and I think Mullins was in the game. And the same thing happened to him where the arm got pulled behind him. I guess my question is, what now at quarterback? I mean, I already know what I'm about to say, and I know you guys are not going to like it, but what do we do at quarterback if Purdy is not ready for the start of the season? You already know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to say it. Would you rather sign some journeyman backup, or would you bring back Jimmy? I don't want him here. I don't want him anywhere near this organization. And I know a lot of you guys don't either, but it is a possibility. So I'm just putting it out there. I don't want it to be any more than anybody in this chat wants it to be, but it's a possibility. It is a possibility. Bill says we have Trey. We are good. I hope so. Sincerely, Lynch and Shan and D'Amico get out. Nah, I don't feel that way at all. It wasn't their fault. How can you blame this on any of them? How can you blame this on any of them? What did they do? What did they do? Their starting quarterback got injured in like the first quarter. Kaimi says, keep Jimmy. Look what a journeyman Josh Johnson looked like. Yeah. We'll know more. We'll know more once the injury update on Brock. But if we're going to be mad at anybody, let's be mad at our offensive line for just playing absolutely horrendous today. I mean, I know the Eagles have a good rush, but we got 2 quarterbacks hurt, and we've got 4 in total hurt this year behind that offensive line. So it's not a coincidence that 4 quarterbacks go down behind the same offensive line. That's all I'm saying. Who's responsible? Who knows? Blame McGlinchey, blame whoever, but all I know is this 4 guys went down behind the same line. It's just it sucks. What a wasted end to a season. Bill, you made a good point, and I was noticing the same thing. I'm not really impressed with them. Considering the situation that we were in, I mean, they got their stuff and they moved the ball here and there, but I honestly think, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I think the Niners have kind of drew up a little bit of a blueprint, at least early in the game, not late, early in the game, how you stop them. So, just putting it out there. I think the AFC wins the Super Bowl this year, regardless of who plays. I think either the Bengals or the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I think the Niners had the best shot from the NFC to stop that from happening, but I just don't see it. Davy Jones says it wasn't for his slip up, Brock would have been in there still. Yeah. He says it wasn't Kyle's fault. Croft effed up. Yeah. Tyler Croft really blew it. David McNiner, what's up, my man? He says, what up, Aaron? We did not look prepared for this game. No discipline. We need the coaching staff fixed like McGlinchey. Let McGlinchey walk. Brendel, too. I really, honestly, Dave, I really think it had more to do with the fact that we lost our starting quarterback in the first quarter. I still think Philly would have, got the penalties in their favor. I don't think that would have changed, but let's be honest. I mean, we couldn't throw the ball. Would we throw the ball less than 10 times in this game in total? Maybe a little bit over. Somebody said four throws all game or whatever, but you can't win like that, guys. It's not. We could break it down all we want and give all these other reasons, but it was because our quarterback got hurt. That was the only reason. The Eagles did what they had to do in the situation that was presented to them, and I give them credit for that. I don't really give them credit for much else. But I agree with Damian Lee, too, and with David. We do need discipline. You guys can't tell me, though, that you weren't a little bit okay with Trent Williams body slamming that guy at the end of the game. Because if I was him and you worked so hard all season and you put up with injuries and you hurt and you do all the things you knew to get there, and then the season ends the way that it does, you can't tell me that in your mind you're like, first person that comes in front of me, I'm going to whack him, and that's what he did. Yep, Kaimi, you said it best. The team lost their leader. That was it. That was the story of the game. There's no other analyzing needed of this game. There's no other to break down film or talk about the Niners not riding the mesh point on the option run. They lost their starting quarterback in the first quarter. End of story. It was it. That's it. They lost their quarterback in the first quarter. End of story. That was the story of the game. Because the Niners defense kept them in this early. And Eagles fans, they're gonna bump their chest out and talk a lot of S, and rightfully so. They won the game, but any fan who is a real fan will honestly talk about what really went down. Like, for instance, when we won the 2019 playoffs and we made it to the Super Bowl, A lot of people were trying to defend Jimmy, saying he brought us there. But if you watch the playoffs that year, you know that the running game carried us, right? So Eagles fans should be in the same mindset of being like, hey, listen, we kicked your ass, but really it came down to the fact that your quarterback got hurt in the first quarter. So that's the story of the game. There is no other story. Like I said, I thought the Niners defense played well early on, and yeah, they ran out of gas, Bill, because they were literally on the field, like 85% of the game? Yeah. It's too bad. I would love to know the severity of his injury in the next couple days and if he's going to need surgery. Because I don't know how long those type of surgeries last anymore. I know in the early 90s and late 80s when somebody had Tommy John surgery, it was usually a full calendar year, which means like a guy would be out from here till next January, next February. So I don't know, guys. It's that's a whole other question. But we have an off season where we're probably going to lose our defensive coordinator. We're probably we're going to have to pay a ton of money for Bosa, and we got some holes on this defense that we need to attack. I really think we could really use another outside rusher and maybe another interior lineman. I do think that offensively, we need to look at offensive tackle, whether we're going to move on from McGlinchey and kick somebody else over there, maybe Burford or something, and then address the right guard center. I think center's a weakness of ours that we need to address. Outside corner, I know, we lost two guys. I think the Jason Verrett experiment is finished. We move on from Jason Verrett. I don't think he's in the future plans, nor should he be. I love the guy to death, but he can't play. Running back, definitely have to address that. I mean, I love Elijah Mitchell, guys. I really love Elijah Mitchell, but the man, he can't stay on the field. He can't stay on the field. So, yeah, Florence, let's talk about that too. She says not just Purdy got injured, but also Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. Yeah. Nick Bosa battled all day. I mean, that man was tore up from the floor up all over his body, his arm, his leg. Props to Nick. He's toughed it out this year. I didn't pay attention too much to Fred Warner. I'm telling you guys, I was in a complete daze watching this game. So there was a lot of things going on that I didn't pay attention to. I don't know how much of like Fred Warner played in this game. That's how much of a mind fart it was from about the second quarter on. But let's see. Santa Clara Era says Mitchell has a full year. He's missed a full year out of 2. Yeah, I mean he's been injured more than he's played in his first 2 years in the league. I mean, granted he's a 6th-round pick, so it's not a big financial loss him not being on the team. David McNiner says bring Mosley back, but he might not be ready until mid-season. Yeah, David, we need to definitely address cornerback for sure into next year. Santa Clara Era says Kalia Davis. I agree on that. He'll be healthy going into next year. I still think you just double, triple, quadruple down on all positions you think you might have an issue. Florence Lum says, what about that fight, Trent Williams? I thought it was awesome. I'm not going to lie. Getting our ass kicked. You worked all year to get to where you got to go. Somebody's doing something dirty to one of your players. If I'm Trent Williams, I'm doing the same thing. Why are so many Niners getting injured? Is it coaching, training staff? It's because of the type of ball that they play. Niners play super, super physical football. Brand of their style of play is immensely physical. Defense, offense, whatever you want to say. Niners play a different. Debo, Kittle, CMC. There's not a lot of guys stepping out of bounds, getting a couple yards, sliding down. It's people running into each other full force. And it's just the style of football that they play. I thought that relatively this year, for the most part, I thought their injuries were better as far as not having guys out for the whole season. But Ike Walker says right tackle should be a priority, number one. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to address right tackle. And just remember, everybody, wear your Niner gear. Rock your gear. Don't be ashamed. We're still a damn good team and a damn good franchise. So if you're going to work tomorrow or you're off from tomorrow and you're going grocery shopping, you rock that red and gold still. Screw what everybody says. We know why we lost this game. We know why this game went the way it did. If you got a Brock Purdy jersey, wear that jersey. Rep your S, if you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to sit here and put any 49er gear away till next season. I'm not upset at the game because I know why we lost. We didn't lose because lack of effort. We didn't lose because we got blown off the field. We didn't lose because the Eagles just dominated us so badly. We lost because our starting quarterback left the game literally in the first quarter with a possibly significant elbow injury. And then our backup quarterback, our fourth stringer, got knocked out with a concussion. So it was already a tough task saying that Purdy could, take his team to a Super Bowl. I don't think it's ever happened before. So if not win it, I'm not sure what what's the word I'm looking for? The answer to that trivia question. But I'm not upset. I'm disappointed. But yeah. Florence Lund says even Bosa back, he was still in pain. Yeah, he was hurting. Like Walker says, Mosley and Gibson should be back. I agree. I would bring Mosley back on a cheap deal. I would bring Gibson back. Gibson says, was it a fair hit on Purdy? Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. He was so close to him. I think, I'm trying to think what hit. I mean, there were some penalties in this game where that were touch and go, but it is what it is, man. Like I said, we weren't going to win this game. I'm sorry. Would you guys have wanted to go to the Super Bowl with the possibility of having both your quarterbacks injured and having to possibly rely on Jimmy Garoppolo to come back with nobody else behind him, really? I mean, could that be any worse of a situation? And would Jimmy be even ready? In a way, they did themselves a favor by not winning this game because they would have had no shot at. Imagine that. Think about that. You'd go to the Super Bowl, you'd have no quarterbacks, and then you'd go against a team, whether it be the Bengals or the Chiefs, who can score points in their sleep with their eyes closed. In a way, and I know this sounds like loser talk, but in a way, I'm glad things kind of unfolded after the injuries happened the way that they did, because I wouldn't have wanted to just sneak into the Super Bowl with no quarterbacks on the depth chart. Bill, not holding anything back. He says, we know Jimmy can't win when it matters. Yeah, I thought about it during the game. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, what if the Niners defense holds in this game and Jimmy Garoppolo comes back in the Super Bowl? But that didn't happen. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. What else do you guys think? Anybody got any comments about going into the offseason, something you'd like to see the 49ers do? I know in the offseason, like I said, I would love to get the Bosa contract at least started soon. If not, you know how those go. It'll probably be right up until training camp. Bosa's get their money. He's not going to go into the season without his money. They'll have a couple weeks off, coaching staff and front office, and then they'll get right back to the combine. And it'd be interesting, guys. We have all You might have all these compensatory picks to deal with. I wonder, do the Niners make a trade before the draft and move up early in the draft, or back end of the first round, or top of the second round? I don't know. Korean Days says Bosa was doing the same thing Solomon Thomas used to do and letting them run around the edge. Yeah, I don't know how much of 100% Bosa was in this game, to be honest with you. It's hard for me to bang on the defense because they kept us in this game, or at least for the first half, considering we have no quarterbacks. Lawrence said Purdy's still got potential. Hopefully, from his experience, he will get better. Yeah, that's all you can hope for. But right now we have to look at the injury situation, and see what that's going to be. What's his recovery going to be with the elbow? That's right now. I mean, other than just kind of taking a breather as a content creator and and knowing that you're not going to really talk about football, at least in the way that we talk about it, for 7 months, sucks. It sucks. It's sad, but at the same time, it's life. I don't blame the officials. I don't blame a lot of things. I blame Purdy going down, getting hurt. And if I'm you as a fan and you're feeling really bummed, just remind yourself that your starting quarterback got his bell rung right in the beginning of the game and got his elbow tore up. You didn't lose because we didn't lose because we got boat raced. We got boat raced in the score, but we know the situation behind it and what happened. So, Man on the Moon 6 says, get ready for Trey Area, baby. Listen, I'm not against that either. I'm not against it either. I'm not against anything that the 49ers do that could get them another championship. If they go into training camp next year and Trey outplays Purdy in training camp, then we have really two good quarterbacks. Hopefully they both can stay healthy. I think addressing this offensive line from center and right tackle should be one of the biggest priorities, so we stop getting quarterbacks hurt. Get Tyler Kroft off this field. That man got our quarterback killed today. Bill says Eagles are in for a wake-up call in the Super Bowl. I totally agree with you. They didn't look impressive. Think about it. Watch this game and tell me, did they look really super impressive? Like, did they wow you with their offensive firepower? How many times did they get short field? I noticed Trey and Jimmy laughing it up. I did not. I'm sorry that you had to see that. That does piss me off. Yeah, but yeah, as far as the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I think they're going to lose to whoever they play, just because I just wasn't impressed with them today, considering what the situation was. Korean Day says, I wonder if our guys in the boots saw the same replay that they played after the commercial. If they didn't, why not? Dude, that's, yeah. And I don't even understand how that was missed. Did they not get that angle? Did nobody inform him? I mean, that wasn't a catch. The commentators kept bugging up Hurst, but yeah, it happens, man. If Purdy would have pulled off the impossible, they would have been up Purdy's ass too. It happens, man. I'm so old now that listen, if the Niners got in this game and they got cheated at the end, or the refs were just screwing them all day and the Niners were actually in this game, I would have been so much more animated. But be honest with yourself. Did you really think we had a shot to win this game after Purdy went down? If you can answer yes to that, you are a better man than me. But I thought the game was over the minute Purdy was knocked out. Yeah. So. Would you guys like to see an off-season where a 49ers possibly, if they have any money to spend, go after maybe uh, any speed rusher available in the offseason, if there is one. Or would you like to see the Niners do something in the draft where they package their thirds and maybe some stuff in 2024 and maybe move up to get another edge guy? I feel like edge, corner, and right tackle are me. Edge, corner, and right tackle to me are the three priorities. Is Josh Johnson worth holding on? No. He's absolute garbage. No. He's the living embodiment of poop. He's a poop emoji. Get the speedster from Miami. I haven't even started looking at the draft or anything like that, or any type of combine or whatever, to be honest with you. Korean Day says, please, a right tackle. I agree. Please, for the love of God, get us a right tackle. Mike says, here comes the Brady talk. Really? Because he would have done so much better behind that offensive line today. The hell with Brady. Man needs to retire. He's got 7 rings. What else does he need? Bill says, Brady, stay away. Thank you. Agreed. Get the hell out of here. We don't want you. At least I don't. And me and Bill don't want you. So, so one of my goals, guys, is to get more stuff in the background in the off season for next year. Trying to figure out what I should get. I need another light or something that's moving. You know, we got the spinning helmet, or the helmet's not spinning too much, to be honest with you. There we go. I need more stuff in the background. I don't know what's going on with my helmet, though. It's not working. But can Jalen Hurts beat the Chiefs or the Bengals? He has another thing coming. He's got his workout. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't impressed. And I haven't heard anything from their fans really. I'm waiting for some Eagle fans to come in here. But they haven't. Maybe they know that like it wouldn't be cool to like bag on us because we have the situation that would happen. Do we have McCaffrey locked in for next year? Yeah, he's here till I think 2025 is what I thought. Yes. We're gonna have a really good offense again next year, guys. We're gonna have a really good offense again next year. We still have Kittle. We still have Debo. Ayuk is something to pay attention to. I don't think we'll lose Juwan Jennings. I thought Ray, for the most part, except for the fumble last week, played pretty well. I feel bad for guys like that. I really do. I feel bad for people bust their butt all season, and then we get to the game and we lose our quarterback. It's so deflating and feels so unfair to the players more than us as fans. I feel bad for the guys that actually, have to get Toradol shots in their calf or in their ass or in their wherever just to play a game and then lose it like this. No Border Sports. What's up, Ryan? He says you need to frame jerseys on your wall. I might get, I have a Willis that I can frame, maybe a Vernon Davis, and I have a Gore. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know where I'm going to put it though, because there's not a lot of like space. I need to get something that fits in like right here. So, and the way my setup runs, I'm in a basement corner. I have a stove here, a wood fire stove, and then over there I got the door to the basement. So I don't have a ton of room. We should take Purdy as their starter. I think I don't know if that's, I would assume, but will he be ready? With elbow injuries, we don't know. Florence Lum can McCaffrey play QB? I don't think so. I do not think so. Yeah, it's for any content that's going to be coming from my channel and mostly everybody's channel this week, it's going to be a lot of looking back at how great the season was, but definitely going to be some stuff to talk about going forward as far as what the teams need to do to get better. Tango Lima Papa says Greenlaw can make plays, but he just still does stupid stuff. Yeah, I know, but I don't blame anybody today, guys. We lost our starting quarterback in the first quarter. I would be the same way, to be honest with you. Bill says I used to have a Montana shirt. Now I got to get a new one. Yeah, the only thing I've ever owned that was Montana was a friend of mine. He gave me like an authentic jersey, but it was like super small because he was a super small guy. And then I think I lent it to somebody and, they stole it from me. So never got it back. Bill says it was a good season, just had a bad ending. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks because we earned every bit of what we got this year. We didn't fluke our way to the championship game. We were the second best team in pro football, or in the NFC, not in pro football, but we were the second best team in the NFC, and I would say fourth best team overall in the league, third best. But hey, guys get hurt, things happen, and they capitalized on it and won. They're the better team. But I mean, Kurt says crash landing with the Purdy injury. What would have helped to see him at full strength for 60 minutes? Yeah, sucks. So it's really hard to analyze this game and break it down and talk about it in any other way other than the fact that your starting quarterback got injured in the beginning. A lot of people are going to go into the penalties and break down all this other stuff, and they're going to give you this mindset that the 49ers could have found a way to win and win this game. It was never going to happen. I'm sorry. Purdy and Trey fit. Who would you start? Who's ever the best coming out of training camp and preseason? I know that's a very, very, very generic answer, but I feel like Purdy might have stolen the job away from him for now. But who knows? Who knows what Trey looks like in the offseason? So early on, Bill, to be honest with you. This season literally just ended a couple hours ago. But we're going to have some questions definitely on our hands soon. It'll be fun discussion to talk about for 7 months. It's a disappointing taste to have the season end like this with no real shot at winning the game once your quarterback went out. It sucks. It's good for us if it's a coin toss between them. Yeah, either one. I mean, I think it's a good situation to be in to have two really good, a one guy that's kind of more of the cerebral, he doesn't have the big arm or whatever, but he plays smart and he's efficient. And then you have a guy that if he could ever get a full season or two under his belt and grow and develop, that he could be the best one we've seen in a long time. We don't know. We've never seen it. He just hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy, and without reps, you'll never know. Purdy looked really good considering where he came from and where he was drafted. But he went through 4 years of college and played at a school for 4 years, and Trey did not. So it's unfortunate, folks. It is unfortunate. Crappy way to end the season for sure. What? No talk about possible available vets out there. I haven't looked at the free agent list or who's going to be free agent, quarterback, otherwise. That's a different that's definitely a different stream or video for a different day when you have all the information put out in front of you. But it would be an interesting one to look at for sure. I agree with you. Purdy looked good, and then McGlinchey missed his assignment. Yeah, him and Tyler Croft. Kurt says Brady to the Niners. No, I don't want him. I wanted him like 4 years ago. He says I meant QBs. Yeah, I haven't even looked at the QBs available. You know who I would have said as a possible backup before the season started? It was Fitzpatrick. Before he went into the booth, I've always been a big Fitzpatrick guy. He would have been interesting to see in the 49ers offense because I think he would have lit it up. I mean, he is he's a backup for life, but I thought it would have been interesting. Not really much else to break down in this game, guys. I hate to say it. I do want to see, like I said, I do want to see what we do off-season wise now with possible coaching. Do we bring Fangio back as our defensive coordinator? I don't know. Is Kyle a joke? I don't think so. No. We all watched the game. We all know what happened. Our starting quarterback got knocked out in the first quarter. He was our third stringer. We were trying to win with a fourth string quarterback against the number 1 seed in their house. And I thought we had a shot with Purdy. I mean, if you watch the defense in the first half of this game, they didn't look too bad. Nicholas Allen says it was rigged. Was he supposed to get hurt? Was that part of the betting line for Vegas? They sent in someone to nail him, hurt him. I found it weird that the commissioner was at the game. I did find that weird. I'm not going to lie. Anytime I see the commissioner at any game, I always feel like he shouldn't be there. I saw Kyle yelling at the refs. Yeah, Kyle did a lot of yelling today at the refs, but Nicholas Allen says they didn't even bother to review the catch. That is going to stick in my craw. I don't think it affected the outcome of the game because we lost by like 4 scores. But yeah, that was definitely one. That should have been looked at for sure. Larry Edwards says this hurts big time. It does. It's weird though. I might be more upset tomorrow and the day after when I think about it, but I was so out of this game so early once Purdy got hurt, if that makes sense. The NFL prefers East Coast teams to win. Well, it really doesn't matter now. I mean, the Eagles are in there, so it was the NFC Championship. Why didn't Kyle challenge the incomplete pass in the first quarter? That definitely changed the momentum for the Niners. Yeah, but would it have affected Purdy getting injured and having all of our chance to win the game be thrown out the window? It could have changed. I feel like this. I'll put it to you this way. Purdy stays in the game, and that catch gets overruled, and we get that 3 and out, and we get the ball back, and Purdy's fine. Yeah, I think that could have had some effect, but we lost Purdy so early that all the penalties, all the BS that we saw, I just really don't think it had any effect. Me and my dad watched the game every day, every year, and he walked into the door saying, "We're losing." He just had that feeling after the penalty, I would assume. Yeah. Larry Edwards says the one game that could go wrong did go wrong. I've never seen it. Yeah, it sucks. Sucks. Out of all games to lose your quarterback, you lose it in the biggest game of the year or the second biggest game of the year against a team you look like you were matching up pretty well with early on. That's the part that bothers me too. Because you can watch this game if you're an Eagles fan and you could be honest with yourself. Like, there was a weird feeling going on early when the Niners were doing well against them on defense. The Rams won last year, and they're not from the East Coast. Well, they did effectively buy their championship last year, so I guess they kind of bucked the trend. Nicholas Allen says, I thought by now these multi-billion-dollar teams would have someone sitting up in the booth that played a few games of Madden and would make these quick decisions as whether to throw a red flag. Yeah. I'd be honest with you, Nicholas. I just don't think it would have mattered after the injury happened. If it wouldn't have happened, I would have been way more pissed off about it. Could we win the Super Bowl with Purdy, or are the other teams too good? Bill, we're never going to know. We're never going to know. I'll say this, it sucks to lose in the Super Bowl. So we're not going to have that problem this year. We're not going. It's just I'm starting to get this overwhelming feeling, guys, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist, that the Niners are becoming the bridesmaid and not the bride, and it sucks. So we are lucky Purdy still has an arm attached to his shoulder, considering the level of destruction Philly wanted to bring to our team. Yeah. Philly was bringing it. They definitely brought the pain today, literally. I just, this was a game of attrition, and the Niners lost the game of attrition more than they lost the actual game. So, but I don't know, guys. I don't know what else really more to say other than I really feel for Purdy, because I think Purdy would have made a difference in this game. And it would have been storybook, and it would have been great. And we could have talked about it for forever about how Purdy beat the number one seed in their place. But I still think about Kyle. You're supposed to be this guru, pixie dust all year long. I thought he was well. I thought he did well this year, guys. I mean, what do you want him to do with a fourth string quarterback who shouldn't even be playing in the league? Josh Johnson is horrible. Horrible. Absolutely atrocious. Nicholas says, even after Brock went down, the D really stepped up and tried to make a game. But even then, I feel like there were a bunch of BS calls. Yeah, it definitely, I agree with that. I'm not going to put it on the refs, though, guys. I'm going to put it on Purdy getting hurt, because I don't think we would have won. And if we would have won, why go to a Super Bowl with Josh Johnson as your quarterback? It's just, I don't know. I just don't want to win. I don't want to win a game and lose my quarterback just to go to a Super Bowl and get boat raced by a team that we should beat. So it's disappointing, to say the least. I'll be 100% honest. It sucks. But that's pretty much it, guys. I might be on. I should be on tomorrow. With the NWO stream, we'll definitely talk at length about all of this. I'm sure it'll be an animated discussion with some of the guys that I'm streaming with tomorrow, because some of them got pretty angry at this game and the outcome and a lot of things. So I'm usually the tense, pissed off one, but I was actually pretty relaxed watching this after Purdy went down. The only thing he could have done is try to install the Wildcat at halftime. Yeah. They're not winning this game, Ryan, no matter what. It's done. It's finished. We will know next year when we win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. I think we have a great shot to win the Super Bowl next year. I think the NFC is definitely open after the Eagles. I think the Rams will have a little bit of a resurgence, to be honest with you. I think the Cardinals take a step back. think Seattle will be similar to this year. I mean, they got a lot of good players. It'll be interesting. The Niners have a really good roster, guys. It's just a matter of shoring up some positions that are weak and like every year we were like, why do we draft a bunch of running backs? And every year we go through a part in the season where all the running backs go down, right? Why do we draft a bunch of corners? And then we go through a part in the season where a bunch of our corners go down. I'm done questioning the front office and why they draft certain guys or draft so much at one position or bring in undrafted free agents at certain positions, because every freaking year we go through the same issues. So there's definitely going to be some tinkering. Bosa's got to get his contract. D'Amico's probably gone. So we're going to need a new defensive coordinator. And then we just got to start looking at this roster and being honest about it. I thought quarterback was actually a strong suit this year, considering everything that happened. I thought injuries for the most part went our way this year, considering how effectively loaded we were going into the championship game, other than our corners that we lost. It's just, it's unfortunate. The Raiders want to be in the Super Bowl next year since it'll be in Las Vegas. No, it ain't going to be them. It's going to be us. Ryan says we're definitely going live tomorrow. Yes, we are. We are definitely going live. We'll be on my channel tomorrow, guys, 9 p.m. Eastern time, the NWO show. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Like I said, some people will be way more animated than me. I'm really, really calm and almost like in a daze. So. Honestly, I hate the 49ers front office. I don't know if I could do any better with a video game. I just have to wait to hear what the NFL says, because it's debacle of officiating. I thought the front office did a really good job building us a really good roster, to be honest with you. And we still got all the same people in place. I mean, look at this roster from where it was in 2017 to where it is right now. If Philly has the best roster, we have the second best roster in the NFL. And, we lost our starting quarterback in the first quarter. So it's a crapshoot as like drafting and stuff. Clearly no team has a good handle on it, and everything is going to change now that the college kids can make money. Yeah, you're right. The draft is definitely a crapshoot. It's definitely, but if you do your scouting and you got really good scouts, I just think the Niners have a fascinating, great history of finding diamonds in the rough the later we get into the draft. I feel like the Niners early in the draft have a little bit left to be desired, but I just want to say to all of you who jumped in here, wasn't a ton of people, but that's okay. Thank you for coming through. I'll be on tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time with the NWO crew. We'll break it down and we'll talk about what's coming in the off season. Like I said, there'll be some animated folks in the discussion who are a lot more angry than me. And so if you guys want to join us tomorrow, like, share, comment, subscribe. Be back on 49ers First Takes tomorrow, guys. Everybody have a great evening. Sucks we lost, but we have a good team. We're still really loaded. And we're going to run it back again next year, man. We're going to run it back until we get this thing. No guarantee we do it, but we're not going to be a 2-14 team next year. So unless the most catastrophic happens and we lose everybody, but I think we'll be good. So everybody have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for all of you who actually show. And everybody have a great one. I will talk to you tomorrow night.